You have now joined the Education Evolution and you are watching Unscripted. This is the podcast for the thinkers, the doers, and for those that know that most of the lessons we learn are outside of a classroom. My name is Lindsay. I'm affectionately known as Miss Black.
And I'm Mr. Jihad, and this episode is no real notes, no real prep, just real talk with your host, Lindsay and Jihad. And let's go ahead and jump right into it, Linz.
I love jumping right into it. Okay, John, how are you feeling today? We are midweek right now. Okay, episode will drop midweek. What are the thoughts? What are the feels?
I'm actually feeling pretty good. I would have to say that the last couple of weeks have been very busy. I've been on the road, getting these
You've been ripping and
miles.
running these streets.
So, yeah.
Every time I have gone to text you in the last at least a week and a half, your little location is in a different place, different city.
Yeah, and it's so. I think I was telling Linz this, that I've been at my new employer for 3 years, and I feel like this is the first year that I'm starting to get into routine, just in the sense that knowing what my busy season's going to be and what my dry season's going to be. And that feels good. And so that's what a part of my role is. I go to different college campuses to do recruitment. And another part of it is going to do planning, which I also love, just to make sure that we're all in alignment and know what our goals are. So yes, all is well. All is very well. How are you, Liz?
That piece about 3 years in and just feeling like you're in the routine and the swing of things. That is what I've always strived for. I really have, but I've only stayed at, I think, one school for 3 years. It's real millennial shit where we stay at a job for 2 years and some change. I would like to stay in my new place of employment for at least 3 years. So I can just feel like there's some automaticity,
Yeah.
I got all the
Yeah.
basics. Now I can master some of the nuance and some of the stuff that's more granular or expect things to happen every year. That must be nice.
And it's funny that you say that, because I think that coming to my current org, I was like, what is my timeline? How long do I want to stay? And
Mhm.
I think it was super arbitrary. I basically looked at my LinkedIn profile and was like, okay, I think I want to stay for at least this amount of time. And it was based off of, I wanted this to be one of my longer employers. And
Yeah.
I think that there was a lot of reasons for that. I think that this is the first company that I'm at in which is everything figured out? No. But do I have a semblance, some type of idea about where the organization is going? Yes. Does that change and shift? Yes. And are we doing as good as we can be? No. Are we getting there? Yes. And so there are a lot of things that I feel like I have been able to kind of be a part of that. Let's innovate and let's change the way that we were thinking about things, which is good, because I think going back to the classroom, I swear people be thinking that things don't, I don't know. I think from the outside looking in, being a teacher, folks don't really realize how quickly we have to move. And so to come to this new environment and be in the high tech space, people are like, oh yeah, we move really fast here. And I'm like, no,
Y'all, please.
you don't. You do not. Please be for real. So yeah, so this is the first time that I'm actually sitting down and being able to say oh, okay, I see their version and how they define move fast. But yeah, we don't move as fast as I would like for us to be moving. But I'm still happy to be where I'm at.
They don't. And you know what? And that's okay. And it's funny because for those that don't know, I have been unemployed for 11 months. I will get into that a little bit. But that means that I've been interviewing for 11 months. And it just be so funny because I'm interviewing with startups and they're like, how do you feel about speed or what? They be saying something and it really just means they're just disorganized. And I'm just
Ambiguity.
ambiguity. I'm like, honey, there's no greater startup than being an elementary school math teacher. I'm sorry. There just isn't. And so I really said that to somebody before. I'm having to relearn this and then teach it to 30 students that have 30 different personalities and and not probably, absolutely have a slew of different needs. Yeah. This little shit you got going over here, there ain't nothing. It wasn't nothing moving that fast. It wasn't nothing moving that fast, and we didn't have room to complain. Not even room. We didn't have time. There was no time.
Oh my gosh! Yes, you literally just took
come
me
on.
back to our bathroom breaks that we needed to. We used to have to ask teachers to come to class so we go to the bathroom. Just like all the things that you just don't even think about until you are thinking about it in past tense and PTSD. Um,
That's all I'm saying. Like, I still hold my key to this day. And I'm like, I left the classroom 4 years ago and I still like, it's not automatic for me to go to the bathroom, which is crazy. It's crazy. Anyways, I am feeling, first of all, I'm excited and tired at the same time, y'all. By the time y'all actually see this, by the time this episode gets dropped, we'll be a week away from Howard University homecoming. But we're recording it during the week of homecoming. So I am ecstatic. Like my outfits came. Well, okay, let me be real. This AWS stuff being down, blowing
oh my
me
gosh.
blowing me. So I actually have one pair of shoes that is actually coming in today, even though it's supposed to come in yesterday. So fingers crossed for me that the shoes look good with the outfit. Cause the when I tell you I look good.
Yes.
So I'm really excited, but I'm exhausted because I'm so excited that I'm like not sleeping.
Got it. I was wondering where the exhaustion was coming in from. Like, I know you've been working out and like all the
That ain't
things have
even
been
it.
going on, but I was like, what? Okay.
That
I
ain't
imagine
even
you're
it.
still sleeping.
No, it's so hard. And then
That's fair.
like I didn't realize that I think my blood sugar was low yesterday or something because you know, when little kids get so excited and they're like playing and they don't eat because they're just so excited to play. That's what I
Mm,
was doing. So it got to be like six. It was 6:16. I actually remember the exact time. I'm like, what did I eat today? And I mean, I don't look like a bitch that's missing meal now. Okay,
go to hell, please.
but But I was like, "Oh, you didn't eat? That's why you're all, like, jittery and stuff." So, yeah, I'm just excited. I'm excited to get some rest and then ooze all this energy out with, like, all my Howard alum loved ones. It's gonna be great. And then on top of that, I have a job. Thank you. I started
Yes.
my new place of employment October 3rd. I'm not even 2 weeks in yet, but it is so nice to be, like, going into this new season, into this last quarter, and we'll get to talking about quarter goals and fourth quarter goals towards the end of the episode. But it's just really nice to be able to go in with security. Hello,
Hmm.
like
Hmm.
wow.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
what?
I will definitely say happy homecoming. Let's start there. Shout out to our Howard HU Bison. We love to see it.
Um,
And I just have been so I think that that's another reason why I have so much joy too is like during homecoming season, like seeing everybody return home to their respective homes. I saw one of my old coworkers. She was at FAM, and I was seeing all her posts, and she was just like, "Oh yeah, you definitely got to come and like visit, and like regardless of what age you are." And I'm like, that's literally how it feels, regardless of the homecoming that you are at. And
yeah,
that just shout out HBCUs because there's no feeling like that feeling. Yeah.
it really isn't.
And
It really
hate that I'm
isn't.
missing it this year, but next year we'll be there.
Okay, because it's my 10 year next year, child. I'm out. I'm always outside, but I'm outside.
We'll be outside. So should we?
Anyways, let's
Yeah.
let's like let's recap the episodes that uh we had this month because we really be talking about some stuff, y'all. And we know we've changed like a bit of the format, and so we just want to give you just a snippet of what you might have missed from each episode. I know that Jihad started us off the first week in October with tech evolution.
Yes. So, the good part about it is that we have been in this space in which we're seeing all these different new technologies that are being released. And I know that last month we were talking about all things ChatGPT and prompting, and that brought us to this new space of OpenAI versus LinkedIn. And
Hmm.
so you may ask, like, what does that mean? And you may have already listened to the episode. And if you haven't, go ahead and please stop this episode and go listen to that, then come back. But the important meat that I want you to take away from what it is that I discussed is the two are going against each other, and it's for a good reason. And it's because y'all know about that platform called LinkedIn Learning, and you are basically given a space to go on and like learn a new trade, learn a new skill, but it's not really kind of formalized outside of you just being able to put some type of badge on your LinkedIn profile. So ChatGPT is trying to like one up them in the sense that they're having what they're starting to call a credentialing war. And ChatGPT is aiming to be LinkedIn plus a credentialing platform so that employers can not only know that you have an interest in this kind of new topic or industry, but that you also have, you know how to apply it. And I think that
Mm,
it's, it's very interesting to see this evolution because I think that we're kind of getting back into like the vocational space in which people are having to learn how to not only just be exposed to the industry, but know how to use the tools, know how to immerse themselves in the culture and show mastery. And so to be in this space, to be even saying that ChatGPT or OpenAI, which is the creator of ChatGPT, is going against LinkedIn, I felt like I knew something was eventually going to happen, going to
mhm.
come, but to see it going head to head in this way, I find it to be very interesting. And being in the recruiting space, like this is very interesting to me because I'm like, I need to be on this and I need to be upskilling myself because I always feel like sometimes I'm like on the back end of the wave. And so like I feel like this is a good opportunity to kind of really hone in on whatever the industry. This is going to be the industry best practice. And so it's not about like replacing LinkedIn, but trying to make sure that you are learning on both platforms and using it to your
Yeah.
advantage. But curious to know like what your immediate thoughts were. I know that we kind of got to talk about it as well. Then.
My thoughts, I love a good LinkedIn Learning, but I also feel like LinkedIn Learning is, I mean, Brandon, obviously have no experience with what credentialing and what this is going to look like from OpenAI, but LinkedIn Learning is kind of like the Wild Wild West to me. Like, I'm in sales, so I'll type in sales stuff. There'll be some LinkedIn Learning that's 3 minutes, some of it's that's 3 hours. You can like
Mhm.
create your own pathway on there, but I'm also wondering how much this credentialing system is going to be with OpenAI because you know you have to pay for LinkedIn Learning, and you don't have to pay for. I mean, you don't have to pay to have LinkedIn, and you don't have to pay to have ChatGPT, but to get like unlimited access to it, you do. So I am wondering what the price. And this really sells the saleswoman in me because I'm like wondering what the pricing difference is going to look like.
Yeah, yeah.
I guess I'm also curious to know why it was framed as LinkedIn versus OpenAI and not
Hmm.
like Coursera versus LinkedIn versus OpenAI. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I
because
think
that is
with
how they're framing it.
no, it is. It is. And I think that with that, I feel like I mean, Coursera definitely is known, but I feel like it's kind of like that branding war, right? Like
Mm,
LinkedIn is known for a certain thing and they have a very specific targeted demographic. And Coursera is definitely
yeah,
known, but I
yeah.
think that LinkedIn probably when you're so like one of the metrics that I called out during the episode is 27 million. Like LinkedIn Learning has 27 million people who have taken at least one course on their platform. That is
Mm,
insane. And so I think
it's a
that
lot.
the marketing side of me, there's not much in that marketing take for me. But however, the marketing side of me is like, oh, they are trying to this is that their target audience, this is who they're trying to attack, and this is who they're trying to take some type of market share from LinkedIn and so that they can be going head to head. Which, and now that I'm also saying this though, OpenAI is actually, if I'm not mistaken, is invested in by Microsoft. Microsoft is one of their leading investors, if I'm not mistaken. I'm gonna have to like spot check that. But OpenAI also, or LinkedIn is also owned by Microsoft. And so all that to say, it's very interesting to see how all of these things are kind of interconnected. But I think something else that I want to call out is I think
Mhm.
that we're shifting. We're now in an environment in which corporate America, and I would say probably for the last 5 to 7 years, we've gotten over this hill of you don't need a 4-year degree to go into corporate America.
Yeah.
And we're starting to shift the degree requirements and we're starting to see people go to a coding academy and making it into a tech role at a Meta or a high tech organization. And so I love this. I think it is revolutionary in the sense that we are shaking up the market, shaking up the tech market, tech ecosystem in a big way because
Yep.
there's a lot of money that's concentrated in in this industry. And so if this industry and this ecosystem is changed, I wonder what that then can do for a lot of the other industries as well.
I will say, I just Googled some stuff. Microsoft
Yes.
acquired LinkedIn in 2016, and
Okay.
then Microsoft began its partnership with OpenAI in 2019.
Okay. Okay.
So that is, we don't need to go too far into
Yeah,
analyzing
yeah,
this.
because we'll go down a whole rabbit hole. So I'm glad that you looked it up and I didn't.
That is right, because you will, Jahala go down the rabbit hole, y'all. I just be like, I know the information at your fingertips, but then But
And so speaking of the last thing I want to mention on this topic before we kind of transition is using this space, the chat GPT new platform that is on the horizon of being created for credentialing, using that space as well as LinkedIn Learning, use them both. Use this to optimize that job search. Use it to be
yeah,
aware that you need to be early to the application that is being posted, to the
yep,
requisition that is being posted, and apply. You need to use all tools. All tools have not been created equally, so you got to use them to bounce off of one another so that you can get the answers and your desired
yep,
end result, which is a job, more money, a raise, whatever it may be. And then lastly, I think that this is the most important thing is research these employers that y'all are going to be applying to. And the reason that I say that is that some companies and some organizations may just be sticking with LinkedIn Learning. And so that may mean that you
true.
just need to sit on that platform and continue to hone in on the skills that you're trying to build out. And some organizations are going to be like, no, like we are shifting to the ChatGPT model. And because I imagine eventually LinkedIn is going to come out with something that is going to try to compete with ChatGPT. So all that to say, be early to apply, use all tools, and research your employer so that you can identify what you need to be using.
Yes, yes. Research, research, and research. Moving on to lifelong learning, y'all. I really was really on my high horse with this one because in the lifelong learning episode, I just focus on pop psych terms that people are using wrong, and it is so irritating. It's one of the most. It's like a really big pet peeve of mine, and it's kind of like a delicate. It's a delicate type of conversation to have because people use the words wrong all the time, and I be interrupting my friends in the middle of their sentences. So, like love bombing, that particular reel went double platinum on Instagram. And if you're not following us on Instagram, follow us at the Education Evolution because people are really thinking that like somebody being nice to you and giving you gifts and texting you and taking you on dates, like that's love bombing. And it's not love bombing. Like I was talking to one of my friends after I had stopped dating this person and she was like, "Oh, do you think that he loved on you?" I'm like, "No, I think the nigga was in love with me." But
Hmm.
like, no, I don't think that
Yeah,
he
yes.
love bombed me because love bombing, there's a component of manipulation and coercion that happens with love bombing.
Hmm.
Like somebody does something that is mean, manipulative to you, or like women who are engaged, and not just women, that was a little sexist, but women who are engaged in domestic violence, like usually are going back because they're getting physically abused, but then that person is coming with the flowers and the roses, and I'm going to take you here and do these things. Like
Hmm.
that part is love bombing after like the negative action happens.
Yeah.
And so, like, somebody that likes you trying to pressure you is not trying to love bomb you. And I did a little bit of a tangent, didn't get too deep into it, but like, you don't have autism because you don't like all social situations. You don't have
Hmm.
OCD because you're super organized. You do not have bipolar disorder because you change your mind. Like,
Yes.
come on, like I am someone, my grandmother was bipolar. And so I lived with a bipolar person.
Hmm.
So y'all coming over here and saying, oh, the weather's bipolar because it keeps changing. Like it's actually very offensive to me, but it's also really ignorant of you to
Hmm.
not understand the stark differences between super depressed and a manic episode that happens all in one person who is still interacting with other people. Like I was saying in the episode, and I'm gonna say it again, we are just taking away from the like basics of being a human and having a brain.
Hmm.
And we're like labeling it something bigger than what it is. Like we can take depression. Believe it's like Depression Awareness Month, Depression Awareness Week last week or something. And when people get sad, they think that they're depressed. You're not depressed just because you're sad. You're just sad. It's okay to be regular sad. But we
Yeah.
all leap to, oh my God, I'm depressed. And depression is like, you're no longer interested in the things that you want to do. It's like difficult for you to get out of bed. Like it impacts like your daily life. And I think that because people are hearing these words more, we kind of like skipped a step of like people being engaged with their feelings here.
Hmm.
And so now it's like I'm either feeling really good or I have ADHD and I'm depressed and I'm bipolar. And it's not, I'm just sad, I'm just happy, or this is making me feel this way because of this. Like there is a gap of just acknowledging the present emotions, and people are like jumping to the extreme. So I feel really strongly about that,
That's
obviously.
talk that talk. Yeah, I think the thing that I wanted to say about that is I was watching this sermon and basically the premise was you don't know the half. And the what we're trying to do a better job, what I think that we need to be doing a better job of in society as a whole is understanding people. Point blank, period, full stop. So when we're seeing all of this different climate of things that are happening, uh,
Yeah.
instead of sitting here and judging, understand that these things are happening to people and
Yeah.
sit with that before
Yeah.
you start to project any type of perspective about it. And I think that that's what the issue is like people are jumping towards emotion, but not even understanding hey, that reminds me of like being in elementary or like me being a teacher and trying to work with students so that they can learn how to identify emotions. Because I think that we've just become so we're so quick to just jump to anything that we've heard in passing
Yeah.
as opposed to actually being able to know what the denotative definition of these things are, as well as making sure that it's actually genuinely how you feel, because
Yeah.
let's work through
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Stop just saying stuff to say it because it may not, and it just waters down the experience of others. Like
Yeah.
it, if we keep saying we need to like prioritize mental health and better understand it, we cannot keep rephrasing things as something that is smaller than what it is.
Hmm,
Like depression. Like I know some motherfuckers that's depressed. Goddamn
hmm,
it. Okay. And I have been there, actually been there before. Not I was just sad. Like, no. So when walking around like, oh yeah, I'm depressed. Some people are functionally depressed. But if you're just sad about a particular incident, now you're taking away the seriousness and severity of someone who is like vulnerably sharing about their actual depression. And again, I said this at the end of that episode. It's all about just being aware and understanding, being open. Like right now, if you're learning something new, you don't need to feel guilt or shame about something that you didn't know. If you're just ignorant about it. And I use ignorance instead of stupid because ignorance is the absence of knowledge. When I say ignorance, like you didn't know at all. And now you know. Now, if I call you stupid, you knew what you was doing it, and now you just look like a dumb. Okay? But that's not what I said.
right.
People
Right.
just be a little ignorant. I just think it's important for everyone to just acknowledge your wrongdoing, acknowledge the impact might have had. No shame or guilt needed to have like, and don't let that fester in you, and then you just move forward. Not outlive it.
Yeah, and I think that you said something, and I appreciated what you named, which was you took a second to look things up. You took a second to read the definitions. You took a second to sit with those things before you were proclaiming it. And I think that that's something that we, in this environment that we're in right now, y'all look it up, go get a definition, and then we can work. Like, I would rather you have a definition as opposed to you just walking around thinking that you know what you're talking about. And I am the
Right,
king, and Lindsay
right.
alluded to this. Like, I'm the king of it. Like,
Yep.
I will literally look it up in the moment just to make sure. And if I'm called out about it, I'm like, oh, okay, you know what? Damn, I wish I would have said that better. Like, and I messed up. Like, and it's cool. But like to be able to live in a society in which we're now just saying anything at any given point in time because you heard it in passing or you saw it in a quick little clip. That's not it,
Don't
y'all.
don't do that,
That is not it.
please. It's not.
So listen, I just want to make sure before I jump to the next episode, because I'm not gonna spend too much time on that one. But is there anything else that you wanted to mention for our lifelong learning segment?
No, I'll say it
Okay.
in the episode. Go back and listen.
So the last but not least was our hall pass to the real world. And this is basically going to be a follow up to that. And y'all know what's going on. The government is shut down. Sheesh, I should have looked. I think we're at day 21, if I'm not mistaken, which
Jesus.
is insane. And
It
essentially there's no
is.
end in sight. And the call out that I have for that is, hey, there's so many different political terms and excuse me, not political terms, government terms that are important to know and be aware of. And so the one that I caught out in the episode was a CR, which stands for a continuing resolution. And that's how essentially they are able to get an extension on the budget so that they can keep the lights on while they're still trying to decide what the full year's budget or whatever the fiscal year's budget will be. And I think coming the last couple of weeks, I feel like I had already kind of like preemptively discussed the fact that the Department of Education was going to be taking some hits. They did take some hits as far as furloughed staff. And then on top of that, it has come out in recent weeks, the naming that certain special education departments within the Department of Education have now been furloughed and talks
Mm.
around them being furloughed indefinitely. I think it's just very important as someone who is past teacher, lifelong educator, master's in special education to speak to the seriousness of this issue. And the reason why I'm calling this out is that I think about students that I used to teach and think about them not having access to the proper resources, and think about, more importantly, folks not being able to be advocated for, and folks not knowing how to access the people to advocate on their behalf. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
this is what that this it was special education is already a chaotic system in itself. And so couple that with the fact that there's no funding, it just exacerbates it anymore. Like, think
Yeah.
about students who are no longer going to have access to taking their about getting an evaluation so that they can know like where they are developmentally. Like, there are real world consequences that are
Insane.
impacting us that we're not thinking about, and we're trying to make it seem as if this is just a measly old government shutdown. But nah, like, this is not cool. And then let me also say this. In what world is it okay for public people who are working for all these different government agencies to not be paid, but our Congress members are being paid? Makes no sense to me. And so I just think that it is
Yeah.
very interesting that, like, we're getting into a time in which we're really going to have to start having some real conversations, because I don't feel like we're in difficult conversation territory anymore. This is real.
That's it. Yeah.
Why are these people making money when I know that there are TSA agents who are not going to be making money? I know that there are different people who are being furloughed right now that will not be making money. And
Yep.
so this is in an environment that we're in right now. I'm just like, oh, we got to do better, and this needs to change immediately. Sorry, yeah, no,
Pronto.
I said I wasn't gonna say anything. I wasn't gonna
You
say
really
too much,
did.
but
You were like, I'm not. I'm like, okay. And then I can hear in your tone when you really about to get in. I said, oh, we're here.
you
You
said
arrived.
let them cook, let them cook. So yeah, that's all I had to say about that. Is there? Yeah, that I just, and then more. That's not all. The most important thing is my Head Start, and those are our pre-K 3-year-olds. And so essentially, not every school has, or not every all places throughout the country have access to preschool. And that's
Yeah,
typically
not
around the
required.
age of 3 and 4. And it's very important for kids to start being socialized at that age, like extremely important. This is bigger than just like ABCs. This is social
Yeah.
interaction with other kids their age. This is learning how to tie their shoes if that's not being taught at home. Like, there's so many different things that we just
Yep.
underestimate that will have lifelong impacts to kids around our country, in a country where the opportunity gap as far as education is already it is wide. It is vast. We are not number one, y'all, in education. I will tell you that.
We're
Okay.
not.
So we just got to do better. I will leave it at that before I, you know,
So before you get back to going.
before I start sweating. Okay. Because
Oh, right. If you feel strongly. Yeah, I know
very,
you do.
very
As you
passionate
should.
about this. Okay.
As you should. I wanted to just circle back to, because now we're just, just getting into the core piece. We're just talking. We're just flowing. But I wanted to circle back to,
Mhm.
we are in the last quarter of 2026, which is insane. Because I was like talking to my nail tech yesterday, and I was just remind her, I was like, can you believe we survived the pandemic? I just want everybody, like, I'll be in the club. I'm sure I'll be at homecoming with a bottle of Don Julio on my head, talking about, do you know we survived the pandemic? Do you know this? Because it's just insane. And so to really think about, like, we're now in 2026, and we're in the last quarter of 2026, right? And it's like a full quarter, but it's really not. Like, that
I'm about to
last
say, you
week of
pushing us a
December.
little fast, Liz, but you
What?
said we're in 2025, honey. Don't push us there too quickly.
And the way I said that with confidence,
Love it though. You
stupid,
ready to get you
stupid,
ready?
not ignorant, just stupid. Because it was really 2026 30 seconds ago. But anyways, uh, 2025.
Yes, yes.
And it was crazy. Like, there's gonna be people that watch this episode and don't catch it because they also didn't get
Right.
2026.
They'd be like, yeah, 2026 last quarter.
Because the pandemic messed up. Anyways, last quarter of 2025, and we know, like, last week's of December, we ain't really doing much.
Yeah.
And Jihad has this wonderful habit of using a word that he uses to focus himself for 2026. And so I was just wondering if you had your word or there were any goals that you were trying to complete by the end of the quarter or things that you're thinking about to set you up for the new year. I know I kind of just put you on the spot, but because I got
Yeah,
mine prepared.
I was trying to find my 2025 word. I'm gonna look in a second. As far as like this last quarter, I am trying to get back into routine. And what I mean by that is that all over the place. So I did a little movie move. Didn't move far, but what I will say is because I moved and because I've been on the road, I have not unpacked to the best of my abilities.
Yeah, it's not.
So, and Linda's used to this, but all that
They're
to
not going
say,
to.
so I want to like get into my home and just really unpack and make my home a home again. And so I'm looking forward to that. And the as far as the other routine, I need to get back into the gym. And so I've been easing into it. I was shooting for like a 2 to 3 days or 3 days a week. And if I go to more, go to more. If I don't go to
Three is
more,
solid.
yeah, I feel like that's like a good easing into it. And something else that I'm considering is signing back up for Orange Theory and just doing like once a week as opposed to the
Yeah, 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 yeah.
unlimited 4 to 5 days a week that just doesn't need to happen. And
I
then,
forgot that's what you used to do.
yeah, that was crazy. And then as far as like I did have financial goals at the beginning of this year and I wrote this down because I was like, I want to do better next year. But I actually have to like shout myself out because I am good at spending money. I love spending
You're
money.
excellent at it.
My goodness, there's no
A
better
plus.
hobby that I have than spending money. And so this year I kind of tricked myself, y'all. And so at the beginning of the year, I did pay off like these 2 or 3 credit cards. Those are back up again. So don't worry about that. That's not the celebration. That's
Okay.
the
Okay.
area for
Okay.
opportunity and growth.
Okay.
But what I do have to tell you is, as far as like my financial goals, something I did is monthly, I was taking money out of my account and putting it into like a brokerage, as well as two separate brokerage accounts. And so that was something that I was just like, okay, like maybe if I steal from myself, I won't touch that money. And I'm that dangerous, y'all. So that money is still there. So I'm very happy about with that progress. No, I did not do a good job of putting a dent into these credit cards, but I'm still celebrating the financial growth that did occur and looking forward to next year. I know that this year isn't up yet, but I'm already trying to put the right pieces and funding in place
Yeah, yeah,
for
yeah.
the financial because it's a marathon financially, not a sprint, y'all. So just take your time. So yeah, those are like the 2 to 3 big ones, and the last one is I'm studying for this certification. I've been going back and forth about whether I'm going to take one or the other because there's just been so many new developments about who is supporting one of the organizations for HR and like
Mhm.
people come in and speak and keynote at different events that I'm just like, I don't align with them. So like, why am I going to be spending money on that when they don't
Right,
believe that I
right.
should even have and be who I am as a person? And
Yeah,
in
yeah,
light
yeah.
of what I was saying earlier, we have to look at people as people. So if an organization isn't saying that people aren't people and it's an HR organization, we probably should be asking ourselves some questions.
Okay.
So yeah, so that's the goal I'm still going to finish the book, but I'm going to switch over to the other certification is what I'm feeling. Me and my study partner, we've been going back and forth talking about it. So those are like my closing out of the 2025 year.
That was good. I
What
think
about
those are
you?
solid. And
Oh, thank
I
you.
just, yeah, I appreciate that they're very focused goals and they're like continuations, like,
Yeah.
cause I feel like before when I used to set goals, I used to just see brand new things from scratch, you know?
Mm, yeah.
And
Yeah.
now I see the benefit of having an ongoing goal, right? Because we're just growing as individuals. And like, I think when you get to your late 20s, early 30s, you start to realize that you don't know as much as you never thought you did. I don't know
Talk
why in
about
the
it.
20s we think we know stuff. I have no idea why we think we know so much stuff
Talk
coming out of
about it.
college. So, like, just like a continuation of like, this is my overarching goal of like the type of life that I want to live. These are the things that I need to do for those things. For me, I've been domesticating myself for several years, y'all, preparing
Come on.
myself for my stay at home stint, whenever that is.
Come on.
So routine, like if something just needs to be done, I just do it. I just do it, even if it's just like something small, like, oh, this stuff needs to be Like I ordered something on it came on what Monday. I tried all the stuff on and did my return for Tuesday. So that package is in my car. Bro, hello. Crazy. Crazy, right?
That's
It's
go
crazy.
ahead, because that is dedication. That's commitment.
It's dedication. And I'm just like, I just need to like do the stuff. I was just telling Jahad that I have a standing mixer. And I have like an ice cream maker attachment and like a pasta maker attachment. I need to use it. Need to use it. Like I really want to get into like back into like the cooking with care, like serving my community and the people that I love the most, and just having these skills in my back pocket because I mastered chocolate chip cookie recipe. Maybe I'll make you some. I don't know. Maybe I'll make you
Yeah,
some.
please. Like, I don't like a lot of desserts, but there are certain things, chocolate chip cookies, shout out Crumble because my cookies and cream cookie is back this week. So I'm super excited.
I know you're so
Yeah, please, please.
okay, okay. Maybe I could do a little or two, but no, they're really good. So like that's like my like personal life, domestication. I started this new job and I am really shifting my mindset and how I view this job and really seeing it as an opportunity. I think the beginning of this year was the first time that I actually sat down and did like a 3-year, 5-year plan.
Mm,
And I didn't know what the hell I was doing because it's hard to think of a 3-year plan when you're unemployed, first of all. Let's start there. And then also I only had like 2 years and some change out of the class, like working out of the classroom. So it was like, well, I just don't even know like all the possibilities that I have. And so now I want to make sure I go back to that 3 to 5 year plan and make some edits that make some sense that reflect all of the work and energy and efforts that I've put into exploring various careers or various roles and make sure my plan actually reflects that. And then I just want to really see everything as an opportunity. I work for a company that is a legacy company. They've been around for tens and tens of years and they just have stuff, they have it together. Like the onboarding, even the onboarding. I think you talked about onboarding orientation
yes, we
last
did.
month. And I'm like, oh no, they have some of the onboarding pieces. There's a lot of like asynchronous work to do. I have like 3 people, not including my manager, that are just dedicated to support with our onboarding. So I'm just learning information collectively in whole. Like I knew some
Mm,
pieces from my last job, but like the onboarding was just poor. They were not a good, like informative match for me. And I do
mm,
feel like I grew there, but I feel like, oh, I'm really going to grow in this next role. And I know that in order for me to really grow, I have to apply myself more than I applied myself before. But I just feel more confident about it. Like I know I don't know, like I said, I know I don't know everything now. And so I know that I'm going to be open and there's going to be a challenge and there's probably going to be a learning curve because why the hell did they give me a PC and I work with a MacBook?
go PCs. That's all I will say on that topic.
And you don't need to say nothing on that topic.
No, but I have to say that shout out to you for the mindset because I do think that that is very important when you're walking into a new role and trying your best to show up, period, full stop.
Period.
Because previous employers, the weight that you carry and trying to dispel and get rid of that before showing up at the next organization and being in an environment which can, regardless of the employer, but like it can you are just meeting new people. You
Yeah.
are learning new
Yeah.
systems, learning new
Yeah.
processes, and all the
All
things.
the
And
things.
so I just, shout out to you because I also know that you are just fun to learn things very quickly. She is
Yeah.
efficient. She
Smart. I'm smart.
someone who's going to learn it all and then learn how the person even created and invented it to begin with and all the
Correct.
rationale, all the logic. And I just be sitting here like, how, where, why, well, take me to the beginning. So just had to shout you out for that because you are going to walk in and do all of what you need to do and then some. And it's funny because
Yes.
I found my word while you were giving us the download. My word for this year was abundance.
Yeah.
And I just think that that's what this year has felt like, even if it wasn't. I think that also trying to take words out of the definitive or the denotative way and just thinking about it in one facet and trying to like think about it in a more 3-dimensional way in which I'm like abundance in love, abundance in
Yeah.
care, abundance
Yes.
in giving
Yeah.
myself and abundance in giving myself to me. Like not
Ooh.
necessarily to other folks. So I hear that coming into all of what you're about to be achieving and then some. So yes, abundance, abundance, abundance. Speaking that over you.
Oh, thanks, honey. And you know what? I have an abundance of energy because Shahab pours into me. And we just hope to be pouring into you as a listener as well. Abundance is coming your way. Just be open to seeing it in a different lens than you originally thought that it was going to be in. Like, really see your challenge as an opportunity to get over things, right? And to learn and to get through it. But also, don't disregard the feelings, like I think operating in theory is cool sometimes because it sometimes gives us the catalyst that we need to get through a challenge or to learn something new. But also, like we said earlier, like acknowledge your present feelings in the present moment. You don't need to overname them or overlabel, just need to acknowledge in the present moment and then know
Mhm.
that feelings are fleeting. So if you have shame, guilt, embarrassment, sadness, depression, feel it. Don't try to avoid it, but then know that feelings are fleeting. They are going to go. You have to be patient in knowing that you have no control over the duration. So, with that, we really appreciate you listening. If you're on YouTube, go ahead and drop us a comment on what your word for the new year will be, or if any goals that you have to close out this year. We definitely want to see them. We want to hear what you have to say. Follow us on Instagram. That's the Education Evolution Pod. We got some great clips, some great carousels, and some information that'll be on there. And we just hope that you are happy to be part of the education evolution because you're in it.
With that, stay safe, stay compassionate, and stay loving, y'all.
Bye.